Daniel Defoe, Robinson Crusoe, Part 13. So he ordered the carpenter of his ship, and who also was an English slave, to build a little stateroom or cabin in the middle of the long boat, like that of a barge, with a place to stand behind it to steer and haul home the mainsheet, the room before for a hand or two to stand and work the sails. She sailed with what we call a shoulder-mutton sail, and the boom jibbed over the top of the cabin, which lay very snug and low, and had in it room for him to lie with a slave or two, and a table to eat on, with some small lockers to put in some bottles of such liquor as he thought fit to drink, and his bread, rice, and coffee. We went frequently out with this boat a-fishing, and as I was most dexterous to catch fish for him, he never went without me. It happened that he had appointed to go out in this boat, either for pleasure or for fish, with two or three Moors of some distinction in that place, and for whom he had provided extraordinarily, and had therefore sent on board the boat overnight a large store of provisions than ordinary, and had ordered me to get ready 3 fuses with powder and shot, which were on board his ship, for that they designed some sport of fowling as well as fishing. I got all things ready as he had directed, and waited the next morning with the boat washed clean, her ancient and pendants out, and everything to accommodate his guests, when by and by my patron came on board alone and told me his guests had put off going from some business that fell out, and ordered me, with the man and boy as usual, to go out with the boat and catch them some fish, for that his friends were to sup at his house, and commanded that as soon as I got some fish, I, sh- I should bring it home to his house, all which I prepared to do. This moment my former notions of deliverance darted into my thoughts, for now I found I was likely to have a little ship at my command, and my master being gone, I prepared to furnish myself, not for fishing business, but for a voyage, though I knew not, neither did I so much as consider whither I should stir anywhere. To get out of that place was my desire. My first contrivance was to make a pretence to speak to this Moor, to get something for our subsistence on board, for I told him we must not presume to eat of our patron's bread. He said that was true, so he brought a large basket of rusk or biscuit and 3 jars of fresh water into the boat. I knew where my patron's case of bottles stood, which it was evident by the make were taken out of some English prize, and I conveyed them into the boat while the Moor was on shore, as if they had been there before for our master. I conveyed also a great lump of beeswax into the boat, which weighed about half a hundredweight, with a parcel of twine or thread, a hatchet, a saw, and a hammer, all of which were of great use to us afterwards, especially the wax to make candles. Another trick I tried upon him, which he innocently came into also, his name was Ismael, which they call Molly or Molly, so I called to him Molly. I said I, our patron's guns are on board the boat. Can you not get a little powder and shot? It may be we may kill some alchemists, fall like our cureless for ourselves, for I know he keeps the gunner's stores in the ship. Yes, says he, I'll bring some, and accordingly he brought a great leather pouch, which held a pound and a half of powder, or rather more, and another with shot that had 5 or 6 pounds with some bullets, and put all into